CBS News Miami.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. I'm Najahe Sherman, and welcome to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. Let's take a look at today's top stories. Taking a live look outside, we have been tracking rain moving through the area. Next, weather meteorologist Dave Warren joins us with a breakdown of what's next.
Could be going through the same area here, so that is the concern. This could lead to flooding. We have a flood advisory in effect for Broward County here. This is from Deerfield Beach right along 95, and that goes as far south there as a portion of the middle of the county here, down past Coconut Creek. There's the end of the advisory right just north of the stadium there. And this is because rain is going over the same area, not moving inland, not pushing out to sea. The showers and storms are moving north, but they develop and go right over the same region here. So in and around this area for the next hour or so, you could see flooding problems there. It goes past 5 o'clock. A little more activity trying to develop here just to the south. The concern is that we'll go over areas that have already seen heavy rain, not only yesterday, but again today. So flooding in and around the afternoon drive, activity winding down here in the Keys, but a few showers continue to move through parts of the middle Keys. Has dropped the temperatures there just a bit here. We'll see numbers dropping into the mid to low 80s here by 9-10 o'clock. Showers beginning to taper off just a bit. Might have to keep the storms around here as we get closer to the weekend. It's in detail with the complete forecast that starts today at 5.
That erupted in Maui have become the deadliest natural disaster in state history. Some survivors have been allowed to return to their homes to see what's left. CBS News Miami's Jordan Segundo joins us live from the scene. Jordan, we know at this point more than 100 people are confirmed dead. About 1,300 more remain missing. What are rescue workers up against at this point?
Well, Naja, one of the biggest concerns for rescue efforts have been trying to properly identify some of these victims. We've heard that these bodies have been so badly burned that when they recover them, they've been having a hard time trying to identify them. So out of the 105 victims recovered so far, all we know is that 5 of them have been properly identified. I know state agencies here have been encouraging not just island residents, but people all across the nation, even the world, if they have family members that are still missing, to try to take a DNA test so that then when they recover the bodies, they can finally identify them.
That is so tough. We see the video, but you see this devastation firsthand. You're in it. So what's the most important thing that we can let people know about the situation there?
You know, Naja, it has been so heartbreaking being here on Maui. I grew up here in Hawaii my entire life, so seeing the hurt and the pain that the people are going through is just absolutely devastating. The good news, though, the road to West Maui, where the Lahaina fires happened, have finally been opened today from 6 a.m. to 10 o'clock at night. Island residents are finally able to get back home to see some of the damage, survey some of their homes. Unfortunately, though, for some of these residents heading out west, they are going home to absolutely nothing.
Just devastating for so many, and we appreciate your reporting and hope that your loved ones are doing okay. Dozens of people marched from Booker T. Washington High School to the Miami-Dade School Board building. They're fighting back against new African-American history teaching standards. CBS News Miami's Ted Scouten has those details.
Hundreds marched and rallied today, fighting back against the new African-American history teaching standards in Florida.
And black history is under attack! What do we do? Stand up, fight back!
Dozens marched from Booker T. Washington High School to the Miami-Dade School Board building. There were hundreds who rallied there, sending a message to the governor and the Secretary of Education that teaching children that slaves may have gotten benefits to their enslavement is wrong.
They thought that they would be able to change these standards and we wouldn't say nothing. Something like slavery had benefit for our ancestors. No. And we would stand there and take it. But see, we fired up.
We reached out to the governor's office as well as the Department of Education. We still have not heard back. Meanwhile, we'll have much more on this coming up at 5 and 6. In downtown Miami, Ted Scouten, CBS News Miami.
Ted, thank you. And now to the newest indictment against former President Donald Trump. More of his co-defendants in Georgia are criticizing prosecutors. CBS News Miami's Nicole Killen reports from Atlanta, and that's where the accused have been told to appear by the end of next week.
Just hours after Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis announced charges against former President Donald Trump and 18 others for their alleged efforts to overturn the 2020 election in Georgia,
It is now the duty of my office to prove these charges in the indictment beyond a reasonable doubt at trial.
Trump said in a social media post he'll hold a news conference next Monday that will be a complete exoneration, and he repeated false claims of election fraud in Georgia. The state's Republican governor, Brian Kemp, hit back. The 2020 election in Georgia was not stolen. With 9 days left to turn themselves in, the Fulton County Sheriff's Office says it expects the 19 indicted defendants, including the former president, to be booked at the Fulton County Jail. Trump's lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, who faces 13 counts for allegedly making false statements about the 2020 election, denies any wrongdoing and says he plans to surrender soon.
I'll pick a day next week, try to work out the conditions of bail, because there has to be bail, I imagine.
On Tuesday, Trump's other co-defendant and former Chief of Staff Mark Meadows sought to move the criminal charges against him from Fulton County to federal court. His lawyers say they plan to file a motion to dismiss the case, arguing nothing Mr. Meadows is alleged in the indictment to have done is criminal. Meadows was on this call with Georgia's Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger in January 2021.
Mr. President, everybody is on the line, and just so, this is Mark Meadows, the Chief of Staff.
During which Trump made this statement.
I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have, because we won the state.
After a false alarm earlier this week, the Fulton County Clerk's Office now acknowledges it accidentally posted a fictitious document with charges hours before the official indictment was unsealed Monday. It said it was just doing a trial run, but Trump's legal team calls it a major fumble. Nicole Gillian, CBS News, Atlanta.
Kids are returning to the classroom. That also means the return of school zones on the road. What you need to know just ahead. Stay with us. Welcome back. Now to a safety alert. Fort Lauderdale police released a picture of the man they say kidnapped and raped a woman. CBS News Miami's Terry Hornstein has more as police hope that someone out there recognizes him.
Police say they're doing everything they can to track down this man, and now we have a better idea of who they're looking for. Take a good look at your screen here. This is the man they are trying to find. He is wearing a green hoodie here, caught on surveillance video at an ATM, but at this point, police are not releasing where that ATM was. Now, they say the man walked up to a couple in their car in Fort Lauderdale over the weekend with a gun in his hand. The man in the driver's seat hopped out, and that's when police say this guy hopped in, taking off with the woman still inside that car.
That black male ultimately robbed them and eventually took the car and sexually battered the adult female in the car.
Makes me really mad that someone is that brazen to do something and hurt someone to that capacity.
Take another good look at your screen here. This is the man officers are desperately trying to track down. Police say the entire ordeal took about 2 hours before they found that woman on the side of the road in a car on I-95. She was taken to the hospital to be checked out. Now, as far as the suspect, you saw his picture there. Investigators are asking anyone with information to come forward. In Fort Lauderdale, Terry Hornstein, CBS News Miami.
More and more kids across South Florida are heading back to school. Today, it was students from the Archdiocese of Miami that returned to class. This is video from St. Teresa Catholic School in Coral Gables. An estimated 30,000 students returned to the classroom today at 64 Catholic schools. And as kids go back to school, police are warning you to slow down in school zones or get ready to pay up. The speed limit is 15 miles per hour in all school zones when the lights are flashing. The timing varies from school to school. There are signs posted around each of the 392 schools within the Miami-Dade County Public School System. But if you are caught speeding even 1 mile above the school zone limit, you could be paying hundreds.
Starts at $169 between 1 and 9 miles an hour, but that can go all the way up to $619 depending on how fast you're going.
If you are driving at speeds deemed reckless by Florida law, you could be arrested. Failing to stop for buses when the stop signs are deployed could also cost you $284. Tomorrow, we will have live coverage as students in Miami-Dade public schools return to the classroom. Also, tomorrow morning, we take a look at how the national teacher shortage is playing out in South Florida. And on Friday morning, we bring you part of Jim DeFeete's extensive conversation with the superintendents of Broward and Miami-Dade schools. We've got you covered. And on CBSMiami.com, we are helping you get ready for back to school as well. You can find all of our back to school stories online, plus a helpful back to school guide. All of it is on CBSMiami.com. The Messi effect is not slowing down for Inter Miami, the team celebrating another victory. The big question heading into the match in Philly was whether Messi would even play, but it's safe to say he did more than just play. CBS News Miami's Samantha Rivera has more.
Well, if you thought an ankle injury was going to keep Messi out of last night's semifinal, you thought wrong. Because even in front of another sold-out crowd in the city of brotherly love, Messi was determined to help his team. Up 1-0 in the first half, Messi added his 9th goal in his 6th straight match. Keep in mind, too, before last night, Philadelphia only allowed 4 total goals in their last 5 matches. And yet, Inter Miami would go on to add 2 more goals for a 4-1 victory, which means not only are they headed to Saturday's final to play Nashville, but they've also officially qualified for the 2024 CONCACAF Champions Cup. In the studio, Samantha Rivera, CBS News Miami.
That's your Quickcast. I'm Najahe Sherman. Stay tuned for more news right here on CBS News Miami.